Hey guys, and welcome to my week 34 update. Let's go ahead and get into the symptoms this week. And I also want to talk about a NST test that I had to get done a few days ago due to some of the symptoms that I've been having. And this past week has just been very hard mentally and physically on me, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that this upcoming week is going to be a lot better, but at the same time, I'm not wanting to get my hopes up. So let's just go ahead and get into the update. Some of the symptoms that I've been having is very bad period-like contractions. So Braxton Hicks, usually, your stomach just gets hard and you can feel the pressure of it and everything, but it's not necessarily painful. And then real contractions, you can usually feel them radiating through your thighs or your back or through your stomach, as well as having that hardening. And they also come in consistent intervals. And then there are period-like cramps that I feel like happen for longer periods of time versus short little, timeable 2 minutes here every 5 minutes. It's more like, for 5 minutes straight cramping, or even for hours long cramping. So I've been experiencing those really long, hour-long cramping with like little spikes here and there that aren't timeable. And so I didn't want to go into labor and delivery because this is my third baby. I should know by now, you know what I mean, what real labor feels like, but it's so hard sometimes when each baby is different. And I've also been induced with my last two, so that kind of changes things because my contractions were very intense, and that was just a whole nother situation in itself. You'll have to go watch those videos and those updates. So I won't even get into that. But that is one of my symptoms that I've been having, is really bad back pain and those cramps. Another symptom that I've been having is blurred vision. My vision has gotten a lot worse, even though my vision is already bad enough. My vision has been still kind of spotty and just not the best. So that's definitely a symptom that I've had. I've been very forgetful, very gassy, total TMI, but I feel like I go to the restroom more consistently, which I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing because my body is flushing itself out, but it's also a nuisance when you have to get up and pee all the time, or, when you're going to the bathroom and you're like, oh no, is this going to be like the onset of like diarrhea or something like that? So thankfully that hasn't happened yet, but I've definitely been nauseous and my stomach has cramped, and I've been going to the bathroom a lot more recently. So those are a few of the downside symptoms. Some of the good symptoms is I feel her move like every single day, all of the time, and her movements are massive. Like, I'll see if I can insert a clip in here, but you. Can see her entire body. My stomach will just shift. And when the doctor was feeling me at my appointment, her bum was just sticking, or maybe her knee, I'm not sure. One or the other was just sticking out so far that you could literally just feel it. And so it's kind of crazy. At the doctor's appointment that I had, I didn't think that they were going to check me, but I did think they were going to do my Group B strep test. And then the nurse did have me take off my clothes to do so. And when the nurse practitioner came in, which I thought I was going to see my OBGYN that day, but she wasn't there, she was like, you're too early. You have to be 35 weeks to do it. So she made me put she didn't have me put my clothes back on, but she was like, I'm not going to do the test today. And so I was kind of bummed about that because I was only 2 days off from being viable for getting the test. But at the same time, it's up to her. If that's her medical professional opinion that I needed to wait, then I'm gonna wait. So we didn't end up doing that, and I let her know about the cramping and everything, because one thing my husband tells me is I sugarcoat things too much. When I get into the doctor's office, if I'm not feeling it at the doctor's office, I will just say, oh, I'm fine. And like, he's like, you need to tell them about this because you've been in a lot of pain. And, you know, if you're at risk for preterm labor, we want to know. And so I did let her know my symptoms, but unfortunately, the type of nurse she is, she's very passive, even more so than my own doctor, and she kind of rushes things and gets you out of there. So I was kind of bummed about that, but I did tell her what was going on, and she said, well, let's listen to the baby's heartbeat, and the baby's heartbeat and measurements are perfectly fine and perfectly on track and everything like that. And then she was asking me about them, and she's like, how long do they last? How long do they happen? And I'm like, at least for 2 hours straight they'll happen, and they don't come in intervals. It's one constant thing, and it hurts like my lower back and my stomach, and it just feels like really bad period cramps. And when I like get up, it feels like a lot of pressure down there. And so she was like, okay, well, let's hook you up to a non-stress test just to see like how baby's doing. So I'll go ahead and insert a clip here. Basically, when the nurse came in, not the nurse practitioner, but the nurse came in, she was like, oh, there they are. There's those contractions. And she was like, are you moving? And I was like, no. And she was like, okay, well, I'll stay in here for a minute and then monitor you. And she was like, yeah, you're definitely having actual contractions. And so I kind of just told them, because with my last 2 pregnancies that this happened, I kind of told them that I didn't want to get the shot this time because I've had to get it with my last 2 pregnancies, and I was already almost 35 weeks. And I thought, well, it takes me a while to dilate because I have a tilted cervix. So if I even go into labor in just a week, she'll be completely fine to come versus having to be induced. So I opted out to getting the shot, and I opted out to really, you know, do anything about it because she said that her heart rate was very healthy and that she passed all the movement stuff. So I'm like, if she's healthy and it's just me being in pain, then I'll deal with the pain if it means that I could possibly go into labor naturally this time, which is what I want. Which I don't want her to come at 36 weeks, but I know that she'll be healthy if she came at 36 weeks, but I'm sure she's going to make it all the way to at least 38 weeks, just because I always need to be induced because my cervix. So I'm really happy that I opted out in getting the shot, but I still have had consistent cramps, and they have gotten worse sometimes. It's starting to happen where my pubic bone, like where your pubic area is, it feels like it's actually on fire. Like it hurts that bad, and I can feel her. She did check me for dilation, and she said that I was not dilated at all. Surprise, surprise, because my cervix is tilted, and that her head still felt really high up. And so I don't think that these contractions are doing anything. So that leads to the prodromal labor, which is basically when you are somewhere between Braxton Hicks and active labor. It's basically as painful as the beginning of early labor, I should say, early labor, but it's not doing anything for you. So I'm very curious to see at my 35-week update if it has started to do anything because of how much pain I am in. I haven't really done much for pain relief except for Tylenol at night, just so I can get that little edge off to go to bed. But it's starting to get to the point where I have to use a heating pad or be in the shower or a bath in order to relieve that pain. And whenever I get up or I walk, it's absolutely excruciating. Like, I could not believe that she said she was still high up because it felt like she was literally coming out of me. So I don't know if she's moved down since then, but the pain has gotten a lot worse, and that's all I know. So that's pretty much my update for you guys with what's been going on. I've also been just prepping for Christmas. I know that Christmas is still far away, and a lot of people get offended because it's like you're skipping over Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, and I'm so excited for the food, and I'm so thankful for everything that we have. But I also want to make sure that I set up for my family because I am already in so much pain that wrapping my husband's gifts today was excruciating because I can't bend forward, I can't move, I can't go walking through a store, everything hurts. So I'm happy that I got all that shopping done and that I've gotten most of the decorations done and stuff prepared for my children, because I don't want them to miss out on that experience and have a new sibling. Because when you bring in a new baby in the home, it's a little hard sometimes because, you know, you're readjusting, mom's attention is taken off of you and all that stuff. And so I didn't want the magic of Christmas to be taken away from my children too, and for this to be something that could potentially make it where it wasn't special for them. My husband is more of the project kind of guy. He's not more of a planning holiday kind of guy. And so I wanted to make sure that I got all of the T's crossed and everything set up for my kids. So that's pretty much it that I have for you guys today. I haven't gained any weight. I haven't really, nothing's changed. I haven't gained weight in weeks. So that is something I want to talk to my doctor about when I see her next. And hopefully I will not go into labor. Hopefully I will see you guys for my week 35 update, which would make me 36 weeks. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to continue to grow this channel with you guys and continue to make more videos. Today's video is a little bit more relaxed and laid back. Obviously, I still haven't set up my studio recording area yet in this new home, so sorry about that, but hopefully you guys don't mind it too much. But here's my bump shot, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.